Hello everybody, welcome back here to a new Bitcoin video. Currently, I'm up here still 650,000 US dollar here on my long position, and we are currently seeing that the Bitcoin price had a major recovery from the 7-hour RSI bands that I have been talking about here for the last couple of videos. So basically, this is my free indicator. It's called the Team Underground Magic RSI bands. I have a link in the description if you want to check it out. But if you go over here to the 7-hour time frame, this is the main time frame that I always used. I told you guys here that I am potentially expecting here a very strong bounce here from this level, like we have seen every single time here in the past. For example, right over here, whenever we touched it, always had a significant rally to the upside. Now, the big question, of course, is this going to be the bottom that we've been actually talking about? Is this really going to break the bottom high? If this is going to be the case, if we are going to go and we're going to go break here about 123,000 US dollar, then this is likely going to get a lot more momentum, and it's going to speed to a much higher level here to the upside. So if that is going to happen, then this trade can potentially here in total be closed here on about over $1 million. So that is kind of what I'm eyeing right now for, is that if we're going to break this bottom high, this thing is going to absolutely fly to the upside. Now, I did actually open some altcoin positions here on Blofin, which I closed a little bit earlier on the small profits, just because, well, I talked about it in the last video. You can watch it back again. But what mainly accelerated here this move to the upside is that what we currently have here is that the president has actually signed an executive order to allow Bitcoin and crypto in the 401 case. So this is going to add billions and billions of dollars of more here to the Bitcoin price. It's going to more clear up regulation here for Bitcoin as well. So super extremely bullish. And that's one of the reasons why we had here this little bit of a small bumper to the upside. Now, if I go here still to Ethereum, and this is still a little bit of a warning, is that we're seeing Ethereum still outperforming Bitcoin. This could be some catching up that it's doing, maybe because the fact it has been going here to the downside for a very long time. But in my opinion, I do not like this sign. I do not like the fact that this is pumping, because the last time that it did this, for example, here, you can see here, this happened back here in 2017, for example, when Ethereum started to go absolutely crazy here to the upside. Then eventually what we actually saw here, that this was around the Bitcoin all-time high. So the same thing you actually see over here when here in 2021, when Ethereum price had a significant rally to the upside and it started to rally. This was kind of when the Bitcoin price was about here to top out. So Ethereum has had this mover to the downside, but if it's starting to be bullish, then that's probably going to show up some exhaustion here on the Bitcoin price. Now, doesn't necessarily mean the Bitcoin price is going to crash, but then it is an indication here that the Bitcoin price is currently reaching somewhere near its top level. Now, the top level I still have here is about 200,000 US dollar. Now, of course, we already had a massive mover to the upside, pumping all the way here up here from 17,000 US dollar. I still think we have still some power here to go, a couple months here to go. But we are nowhere near the level anymore where we can actually say like, okay, this is like an actual beautiful buy opportunity. That doesn't mean that it's horrible to buy Bitcoin. Like, even now, I think it can still double in price. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just what I personally think. But the best moment to buy here was around 17,000 US dollar. So this indicator here is called a simple fear and greed indicator here for Bitcoin. What you can actually see here is that whenever you see over here this orange level, it's right over here in the extreme fear area, then it turns over here orange or red, and those are the very good moments to actually buy. Now, currently, we are sitting somewhere around neutral, which means it's not the best moment to buy, not the worst moments, it's somewhere in between, which is kind of what I've been talking about here for the last couple of months. Bitcoin is kind of still neutral. It's in that zone where if you're going to buy, you're probably going to be in the loss the next bear market, but you're probably still going to be in a profit when the all-time high is going to be hit. So basically what is going to be the level here for me to watch, and that's why I absolutely love this indicator, is this green areas right over here. So when it's starting to peak over here, it's going to show up here, and there will be extreme greed, and it will show up here as dark green. So last time this happened exactly around the all-time high. Whenever it goes inside this green area, that's kind of like a danger zone where you potentially might slowly take out a little bit of profits. But you can basically play the chart very easy. Just sell at the green levels, buy back at the yellow, and buy back at the oranges or the red, and just slowly DCA into the Bitcoin price rather than, for example, just buying and selling at one moment. Now, I do buy and sell at like just one moment in the cycle because I've been trading for a very long time. But if you're just kind of new to it, you could potentially DCA as well. So we are still very neutral. Now, if this thing is going to start showing up as green, I'm going to show it in the videos, because that's going to be a major warning that this thing is going to potentially be overheating and have a correction. Now, I think so far that's not the case. I still think we're going to double in price. It's probably going to be like a couple months here for Bitcoin price to continue rally. I'd say December we're going to see the all-time high. but then eventually, yes, it is going to move here back to the downside. That all-time high is going to be hit, and we are probably going to go back here to about 60,000 US dollar, and then this thing is going to glow red again, and that's when I'm planning to buy. So it's just pretty much a little bit of ping pong. Now, one of the things that I actually saw here, this is actually very interesting. Now, it's maybe not necessarily 100% on topic for Bitcoin, but it's pretty close. I mean, we know Bitcoin is the inflation hedge. It's not really talked too much anymore about an inflation hedge. People mostly talk about all the stuff the president is doing and nation states and stuff. But it is still an inflation hedge. And we know that, for example, 4 years ago, the Bitcoin price was at a much, much lower level. So 4 years ago, we were trading at what level? About like 30,000 US dollar, somewhere around that. Yeah, somewhere around 36,000 US dollars. So since then, we're up at 3x. From the bottom here, we're also up. From this exact all-time high, we're also up, like, let's say, almost like a double. So if you bought Bitcoin, pretty much, even if you bought it here at the top, you would have at least doubled in price. So you would have completely outperformed inflation. Now, this is what is going on right now, is that there's currently a 135% price increase here for 30 items on Walmart in the last 4 years. So this is a post here from Facebook where someone is saying that I'm buying all these groceries and they're up like 135% since I last bought them. And this person went into the app and they checked the prices 4 years ago on the Walmart app, and they were literally like almost like 100% cheaper. So Bitcoin is the inflation hedge against this. So even if you are up 100% since 4 years ago, you're still like even in terms of like outperforming. Like you think you've made a big profit, but you're in theory just even. Now, if you bought a lot lower, or you bought in 2019, like that's when the real profits are made. So what I'm also going to be doing is I'm just going to wait for this thing to come back to 60K, and that's when I'm going to be buying. And that's how I'm going to be not only outperforming inflation, but also making a very nice profits. Now I can do that by using long positions, by shorts, whatever I'm going to be doing, selling spots, buying spot, but that is going to be the strategy. So I'm not going to FOMO into this autumn high. I mean, if we come back down, I can buy more cheaper. If we overshoot the target, I'm going to be rich. I'm not necessarily looking to sell all my Bitcoin either. I'm just going to let it play out. But at 60K level, that's when I'm really going to pay attention to. That's going to be somewhere in 2026, probably end of 2026, when this thing is going to be trading at 60K. And that's when I'm looking to buy and make a big mover to the upside. So with any money I'm going to be making, for example, this trade over here is here up here, this amount. But you guys know here from YouTube, and I have other business to the side, whatever money I'm going to be making, I will put it into Bitcoin at 60K when we come back. And that's when I'm going to be really trading this. And I'm going to outperform the inflation, so the government doesn't get me with their money printer. Anyway, that was the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe. Hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.